meeting for November of 2025. And our normal chief answering person, CAP, is not here yet, but we'll give it a try. If anybody's got any questions, jump in there.
Hey, Roger, that was pretty cool what you did today with YouTube, that presenter thing. You had
Yeah.
me convinced. I
Yeah.
couldn't find a way to do live chat,
Oh,
but
really?
well, I'm also in my new YouTube account, which is YouTube Premium. For those of us that don't have YouTube TV, it's $8 a month, no ads, and I'm still trying to. It's got special stuff with it, and I'm open if anybody is more familiar with it than I am. Just trying to figure out what all I can do. It looks like I can download stuff, which I couldn't do previously. Windows people have been able to download YouTube things for a while, but I'm still experimenting. So
Well, good. Well, keep us informed.
yeah, it was $8 a month through Verizon, so I figured what the heck it would be worth it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, that was interesting that you could do that and then join in the chat from your class.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised that it worked so well.
It did without you even there. It's
Yes.
like a friend of mine says, without your fingers leaving your hands.
Right. On autopilot.
Well, I'd like to say good evening to Jeff, who will be our featured speaker during the main meeting. He has kindly joined us for the Ask Me Anything session. Um, I guess I have a question for Jeff for about guides, and maybe he'll be answering this anyway. If so, you don't need to step in there. I did do one very rudimentary guide, Jeff. Only had 3 or 4 little places on it, but I started by going to like a restaurant. That was the place number one. But I wanted to note on there that this is the place where we're all going to meet, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So what I ended up doing was deleting that point and then adding a point like a half a block away or next door. And then I could write a description in the title rather than so and so restaurant. Is that something that's possible that I just didn't know how to do? Because I don't know how to do anything.
Unfortunately, there's a limited amount of ability to add custom notes from what I can see. But during the AMA, I'm going to investigate that a little bit more to
Okay.
see if there's a good way to handle that kind of situation that I'm not aware of. Because no,
Okay.
that has also been my solution, is basically to go somewhere nearby that isn't named in Apple Maps, and then it allows me to kind of identify that location.
Okay. Okay. We got any questions?
I would
Well, I guess we're
say
done
hello.
then.
I'm Jeff. I'll be on the main meeting as well, but I thought it'd be interesting to join and hear what all the AMA might be about.
Well, right now it's not about much of anything, unfortunately.
Bob, there is a feature I'm going to be talking about in the Accessibility Minute, which is the ability from your location in Apple Maps to create a location that, say, I could share with somebody so that they could get directions to come to where I am.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if that's something that you guys could use in conjunction with the guides. I don't know the first thing about guides, so I'll be really fascinated, Jeff, to hear what you have to say. But anyway, maybe we'll just table it till later, and then
Okay.
it's sort of like an I am here kind of thing, as opposed to your last known location or using Find My or matter of fact, I better look that up so I can speak a little bit better about it than I am right now.
Well, I think you can do that, a very similar thing with that in messages. right? If you have a message thread with an individual or a group text message thread, I think you can, as my children would say, drop a pin and people then can
Really?
map themselves to that location.
Oh.
We actually used that because earlier this year we went to our very first NASCAR race in Michigan, which is an
Had a million people
experience
at it.
in and of itself. And one of us got separated from the other three of us. And so I just dropped a pin and sent him a text and said, "This is where we're at. We'll stay here till you get here." And he got close enough that I could see him, and then I waved him over. So
Okay, so you dropped the pin in Apple Maps.
in messages, actually, I was
Really?
able to share my location in messages with him. Now you're going to ask me how I did that, and I'm going to have to remember because I haven't done it very often.
Share my screen, add to share screen. That's about, well, let me see what they say for location. Help menus are so good sometimes. Let's see. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try pin.
So is that a feature in iOS 26 or in 18? And by the way,
18.
26, and this is hypothetical, sucks. I hate it. I only
If
put it on
you
my work phone and my iPad. I kept my personal phone at 18.
if you are in the messages app, at least on the iPhone, and I just went into my thread with my wife, who knows where I'm at right now, and hit the plus next to where you would typically tap and type into the field to send a message. You know, you get the camera, photo, stickers, you get a list of things, and eventually you can get to location. If you scroll down that list, and if you tap that, then it'll pull up an Apple map and allow you to send where you're at, send your location.
That's wild. I see it.
So
Amazing. Okay. And then you can request or share, and I'll share it. I'm actually sharing this with myself. So I better do it for just 1 hour in case it causes chaos. Yeah. And I received the Apple map with my location pinned on there and a little sign that says 1 hour. So that's a good addition.
there you
Thanks,
go.
Jeff. Oh, there are all these little nuggets in 26. And Lori, we can do some offline therapy here. I can help you with 26 to overcome your objections, maybe.
Oh man, I tell you, it's, this, I call it liquid. Well, I call it ghost buttons. I fixed those and some other stuff. To me, it's just so different. I'm a software engineer, so I like things a certain way, and it's not that way anymore. And like I said, this is why I left my phone as 18.2 or whatever it is. And then every time I try to update my Apple, sorry for the barking, update my Apple Watch, it says, you got updates 26. First, update your Apple Watch. It's like, screw you. I'm not updating anything.
Well, maybe I can help you offline. You can pretty much turn off the liquid glass if you want to.
Yeah, there was something about making them less see-through, whatever. And I've done that on my work phone and on my iPad. But, it's just like for example, here's one of the things I'm not particularly fond of. When I go into, and excuse me if I'm hogging, jump in anytime if anybody else has some real problems. When I go into my mail and I want to select a bunch of mail to delete because I'm on a gazillion email lists, I have to hit 3 dots or something else, whereas the select used to just be there. Now it's giving me all sorts of options that I don't care about. And, and it's almost, to me, it's like Microsoft in the sense that Microsoft gives you 50 ways to do the same thing. They're being really nice to you and they, program in all this functionality. And by doing that, they tie like one or two of your hands behind your back because they've given you all this functionality. And when you want to do something unique or out of the norm on Windows, it's like, nah, I can't do it. because we fixed it for you. And so it's almost like making me feel, it's kind of leaning that way, but whatever. Again, some of us just don't like much change.
Well, okay, I'll add a couple of comments for later. Bob, you're muted if you wanted to share something. Oh, didn't want to share anything.
Other than, nobody likes change, but we are expected to embrace it. What would happen if the best car in the road was the 57 Chevy? It's a nice looking car, but man, it is nothing compared to what we have available to us today.
Lori, my wife's in the same boat. And actually she learned she learned a valuable lesson. I've always been a 0.1 release upgrade guy. I don't do the betas. I've always waited for the 0.1 update of new operating systems. And this year, with all the public betas and everything, I told her, I think it's okay. All the podcasts I listen to are yep, this is stable, this is good. We upgraded on day one, and I'm surprised she still speaks to me. She is not a happy person.
There are a few routines that work over and over and over, and they've taken at least one of mine that I'm thoroughly confused what I'm supposed to do to change it. So, God, I think I'm going to have to read something.
What's your issue, Lord?
That was not me.
I have a question. I drag a file from Time Machine, and now I'm trying to delete it, but it doesn't allow me to delete the file. How can I?
I guess my question is, why did you drag a file out of Time Machine? You use Time Machine to either replace something that is broken, but you don't.
No, I was testing it. I thought in the past I was able to drag files from Time Machine, but I guess you are not supposed to do that.
Maybe you can. I've never done it. I do that when, oh, darn, I screwed this up so bad, I need to go get an earlier version. That's what I do.
No, but you're not supposed to drag manually. You're supposed to use the
Restore button.
The restore.
Yeah.
So
Right.
so now I put it in the trash, and when I try to trash it, it doesn't allow me. It was supposed to. It's telling me.
You could
It needs
try
to.
holding the option key down when you do empty trash.
Yeah.
You could try changing the name from blah 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 to ZZZ, and then
Okay.
try emptying the trash.
Okay.
I'm not promising either of those things will work, but they're something I've tried in the past.
Okay. Let's see.
Maybe you can't do that because it's still part of Time Machine.
That's possible. If you control click on it or right click on it, maybe it'll give you some choices like put me back in Time Machine.
Yeah.
I would look at
Okay. It went away. Yeah. With the option, it went away. It trashed it. Thank you.
Wow, I answered one right. Maybe we're on a roll here.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Bob, will you take Time Machine for 20?
Not tonight. I have just replaced my Time Machine drive today.
Oh,
and I've been troubleshooting it, and it's down to it's not the cable from the Mac to the USB hub. It's not the cable from the USB hub to the drive. So it's either the drive itself or the enclosure. And I haven't gotten to testing that yet. I got to pull the drive out of the enclosure
Is it a powered
and
hub?
plug it into a bare bones interface and plug that into my other computer and see if I can see it.
Does the hub have power?
The hub has power. The hub has other external drives that do work. The hub, when I plug it in, Disk Utility will see the drive's name, but be unable to mount it. I tried to erase it, and Disk Utility failed to erase it. I tried First Aid, and that failed. So it's seeing the drive is the problem in the enclosure or in the problem in the drive itself. Now this is a spinning hard drive that has been spinning for at least a few years now, 24/7. And I leave it set to do the time machine thing every hour.
Bob, what happens if you plug it directly into the computer?
I'm going to try that. If I have the cable that goes from first thing I tried is I tried a different cable from the hub to the drive, and that didn't change anything. And then I tried.
It's the hub.
I don't think so.
And it's a different hub. There was an issue online a while ago about hubs being a problem for connected drives until they changed the hub to a newer one or a different one. And then they finally got the full access to their drives. That was an online issue a year or two ago.
Okay. Well, my troubleshooting process has pretty much eliminated the drive. Pardon me, eliminated the hub, eliminated the cable from the computer to the hub and from the hub to the drive. Because I took the suspected bad cable and plugged it into a different drive and it worked.
Did your time machine drive perchance change to APFS from the old format?
I think I got it on the old format.
Well, it's a spinning
Pretty
drive,
sensitive.
so it will be HFS plus.
I'm running mine on
would be the
APFS.
best, no trouble formatting.
So, I have the next steps to do. I just hope it's, the drive is not cheap, the enclosure is not cheap. We'll figure out which one it is.
When I got my new time machine drive in November 2022, it's saying I created it. It formatted it as APFS case sensitive encrypted and said that's what it needed to be from now on. Now, I don't know, my mileage may vary. My mileage may have varied. So.
Okay. I know what I want. I know what I want to do next. So are there any other questions?
Yeah.
For dealing with a Mac OS 26 Tahoe and how to do a bunch of stuff with it, I find 3 websites that are very helpful with how-tos. One is macworld.com/browse, and another is appleinsider.com, and finally tidbits.com. Those 3 websites are very helpful if you're trying to deal with Tahoe.
Well, I'm not dealing with Tahoe yet.
What was
the only thing I'm running 26 on is my Apple TV. And when iOS goes up to 26.2.2, I may try that. but I'm probably not going to do 26 on my desktop Mac until at least .3, maybe later.
Ridge, you should put those links in the chat.
I am in the process right now.
Thanks.
Hi, Louise again. Another note, I went through Heathrow Airport in England, and most of the areas where you charge your phone, the big majority, you couldn't even, they weren't working. So it's a good thing to have a good charger if you go through England. To
By
Heathrow.
charger, do you mean something you can plug into the wall, or?
No, where on the chairs, you know, where you have the stations there, and there are
Mhm.
plugs where you can charge your phone. A lot of them that weren't working. On the chairs too, every chair has a plug there that you can plug your phone and charge it. It looks like they're not repairing them when they break. Do it make
Another
sense?
thing is, if you do find one that does work, you may want to have an adapter that goes between your cable and them that only passes power and does not pass data, because it's very unlikely, but you don't know if there's somebody on the other side of that plug
I see.
that might be trying to get into your phone.
Yes. Okay.
So I
And
think
the other thing,
what
yeah,
you're
the other
saying,
thing in England,
Luis,
what?
what you're saying is you should have a battery pack, right?
Yeah, battery. I charge it. The other thing too, the measurements. Like I had a pair of glasses, scissors, and in the U.S. there are 4 inches that you can bring your scissors. In England, it's 3 inches and a half. So if they took my scissors and they trashed them. So, but that doesn't have to do anything with your Mac, I guess.
Well, Luis, looking at you, you look a pretty sketchy kind of guy that you might be, trying to take over the airplane or something.
4 inches.
I'd be a little scared.
At the end of the day, they probably have 500 pair of scissors there. I don't know. I don't know. Someone might be collecting the scissors for half an inch.
Bob, I have a question.
Go ahead, Bill.
Sometimes I have my iPhone, which is an iPhone 16 Pro. I have it sitting on my desk, and I'm playing something on YouTube, and it'll play for a while. All of a sudden, it'll just stop. If I go over and hit the little button that's there for going forward, it works just fine for a while. Then it'll stop again. It doesn't quit. It doesn't change, stations or anything else. But it's playing music for like an hour. It's supposed to be like an hour, and about half hour into it, just stops. I can push the little forward button, and it works just fine again. Is there a setting in the phone that says, hey, this guy's not touching his phone or anything? Let's just turn off?
I don't know.
So I have experienced that as well.
Oh, good. It's not just me.
It's usually after you've been on YouTube for a while.
Yeah.
So I think there's some kind of a buffer on YouTube that fills up. So I don't think it's anything that you can change. It's just the way that YouTube works. And if you've been on it for a while, an hour or two, it fills some kind of buffer up and it just stops.
I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm in my house. So it's not like I'm, outside someplace.
Yeah. The other thought that I've had is it could be your ISP. Having some kind of limitation because you're on the same website for a long period of time.
Yeah,
those are just
Charter.
Those are just guesses. I'm not sure what the real answer is.
Up here I have Charter, which is, I have Spectrum, which is Charter basically. And I've never had that kind of issue before. I can play a movie, and if I'm holding my phone or watching a movie on works just fine. But if I set it down and leave it alone, it'll quit after a while. Very strange. Thank you.
Next, are there any other questions?
I have a question. And
Go
I
ahead,
have
Lori.
an iPhone, excuse me, 16 Pro. And, I don't have it set to wake up by raising it. I have it set so that if I tap it, it'll wake up. And this doesn't happen often, but it happens often enough where I tap the screen and it looks at me like, yes. I mean, it basically ignores me and I tap and nothing's waking up. And I try different things. And finally, if I push a couple of buttons, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you wanted me to wake up? Okay. So I'm just wondering if anybody else has seen that behavior in their phones.
I guess I haven't because I use Raise to Wake. Anybody else?
Lori, are you using Face ID?
No.
Why not?
Because I just prefer not to have it so that, and this is going to sound ridiculous because I'm not traveling right now, but if, let's say I was on the street, had my phone with me, something happened to me, and somebody wanted to break into my phone, they could just hold it up, and I'm unconscious. They could hold it up into my face and they could unlock my phone. So I have Face ID on my work phone, but I don't have it on my personal one because my personal one is always in my pocket unless I'm home.
Well, if you're laying on the pavement, your eyes are closed and it will not work.
Ah, good to know.
Your eyes have to be open.
Anyway, so that's why I don't use Face ID on my personal phone. Just because I'm weird. Kurt, you got a comment?
I'm just, does anybody here look at anything from Cox on their phone? From time to time, I'm watching something on the Cox app. It means you can stream whatever Cox is doing right now. So I'm watching the news or something, and I get these, it's about 4 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds of dead air that just happen. And then it picks up and goes on just fine. And this happens, I don't know, once every 5-10 minutes. And occasionally you miss something because you've had these little breaks. And there doesn't seem to be anything I'm doing. I've moved the phone, I've tried everything, and nothing seems to make it stop. It just does it. Anybody watch TV on their phone? Sounds like a no. Next.
Well, I've watched TV on my phone or on my iPad, and it's never had that dead air.
Yeah, that's weird.
So,
but it does stop.
Yeah, it continues. It just stops for 4 seconds and continues. And it's just the audio. It's just the person's mouth keeps continuing moving. It's just the audio.
Oh.
No idea why.
So, Kurt, you're losing audio video sync. Is that the issue?
No, it's just the audio only.
Does it happen on a regular basis or very irregularly?
It's irregular. I would say once every maybe 5 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. All of a sudden, the audio cuts out. I can see the person continuing to talk, and then all of a sudden the audio comes back again. So I don't quite understand what it is. I had an iPhone 12, I guess it was, and I just upgraded to the latest phone, and the same thing, exact same thing, continues to happen. So I don't think it's the phone, but
No, I think it's a streaming issue because I've seen similar and it has nothing to do with Cox, at least for me.
yeah,
But I have seen it where, their mouth is moving, but the what's coming out of their mouth is not matching their lips. So
right. Well,
I think it's a
this
streaming
is
issue.
this is on TV only. Everything else, streaming stuff and whatever, I don't have that audio problem. Just on TV.
Right, but it's TV on your phone, correct?
Correct. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. And again, it could be streaming, it could be your ISP, is just not
Right.
sending the bits out as quickly as they should be sent out.
That's right.
So why do you watch TV on your phone in the first place?
Well,
You have TVs and you have
it's complicated,
iPads
but
and you have Macs.
it's complicated. I have hearing aids that are Bluetooth. So when my wife is taking a nap or whatever, I can stream it to my hearing aids, and very easy, no noise in the rest of the room. And so I do that from time to time.
Yeah, I do
Okay.
too, Kurt. I have I have a magnetic stand on my desk, and I can rotate it into the landscape position. And sometimes I watch soccer games that way on Apple
Right,
TV,
exactly.
which, by the way, are going to be free next year. Did you all hear the news
Really?
on that? Yeah, it was $99 for the season ticket, right, Jeff? And Apple and Major League Soccer made a really bold move. It's going to be free. It's going to do a lot for soccer, I think, in
Wow,
the
that's
US.
great.
I hear the same thing is going to be true for the new F1 racing. Not if that's your
Really,
thing.
that would be cool.
That's not going to be behind a paywall either.
Yeah, we want to watch U of A, particularly women's basketball, but other basketball also. And subscriptions to ESPN Plus are crazy expensive. And so they suggest, oh, why don't you do the bundle with Disney? Well, that's even more. And so this is a frustration for us. I think we may have to bite the bullet and spend a lot per month for the remainder of basketball season and then cancel.
I think there's some wisdom there, Kurt.
Yeah,
And people want to solve your problem by suggesting you pay more.
exactly. Right.
Any other questions?
I was late getting in because I don't know if you brought it up before, but the newsletter had the wrong link in it. It had the link to last month.
There is a link to last month in this newsletter, but it's labeled
No,
last month.
that wasn't labeled. Oh, I didn't read it that way.
Well, let me take a look.
Now or later.
We did have some issues with publishing the link, and that caused about 3 different versions of the newsletter. So let me just go back to this. You are correct, sir. The link in the newsletter ends in M.1, and the link that worked for me ends in W.1. So therefore, that's the problem. That's the issue between the guy who made the link and the guy who put it in the newsletter. So therefore, that's my problem. Sorry about that.
You're absolved.
Thank you. Thank you, my son.
Agreed on the absolution. Thank you.
I've got a question for Roger. Have you worked much with reindexing in Apple Mail? Or what triggers Apple Mail to reindex?
Well, I don't think it reindexes by itself. I use Onyx
Yeah, I used Onyx and it worked really well for me.
to
What
do.
happened with Susan was she installed Infoclick, the product from the nicest folks, which is an external FileMaker database or FileMaker-like database that creates its own external database for Apple Mail, and it gives you like about 9 different search fields that you can use for, trying to find esoteric mail that you can't find through Apple Mail. And apparently in installing that and it's creating its database may have triggered her Apple Mail to reindex because it got a lot easier for her to search in Apple Mail, not InfoClick, but in Apple Mail after she installed Infoclick. And I'm not sure if that I was going to check ChatGPT, but I forgot until I saw Susan here. I was going to try to do that today. But that can sometimes, when Apple Mail gets just impossibly slow.
Yeah, no,
Particularly,
I've never used Infoclick, so I couldn't tell you.
yeah, when you're switching back and forth in the new categories between, say, whatever the omnipresent one is. Let me see, what are they calling it now? Anyway, the main one, and you're clicking it off so you get all mail. If that just takes like 30 seconds, then it may be that your index needs to update. So I know years ago I did it manually, and there wasn't an Onyx or anything to do that back then, but now there is.
Has anyone tried Mail Maven? That this guy who from Tidbits Books, the guy who bought the Tidbits Books, is advertising and working on?
I've heard good things.
The one from that had, or what are they called? It had the tags, the mail tags, and the outbox rules. I've been using that for a while now. It's pretty cool.
I try to keep my Mac pretty much stock as far as those kinds of things go, and try to uh, for helping with other people, because most people will just use Apple Mail. So I use Apple Mail.
Me too.
Yeah, and the Apple Intelligence stuff runs in Apple Mail. Well, proofreading, which I use a lot. I will say, though, that I accidentally had to do a more professional rewrite. And first of all, it really didn't sound like me. And second of all, there was one thing that I clearly thought was incorrect. So if you're doing any rewrite type things through the Apple Intelligence, the writing tools, be sure to read through whatever that email is carefully before you send it out.
Agreed.
Yeah, you're just trading composition time for checking time.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, in a way.
I think Bob is having some throat tickles and he has to keep signing off to cough.
Yeah, I stopped my camera and I'm having trouble restarting it for unknown reasons. But I'm still here.
Good. May the force be with you.
Bob, is that a speed graphic on your badge there?
Looks like it.
Oh, the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is actually it's a crown graphic, which is pretty much the same thing as a speed graphic. What I call the Jimmy Olsen camera.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a note here saying cannot start your video because it's disabled by the host. So maybe Roger can fix it for me. I don't know. There we go.
I didn't do
Nope,
anything.
not yet.
Let's see if I can. No, it's not disabled for me. Oh, yes, it is. So let me see here.
If you can't fix it, I'll drop out and re-add myself, and we'll try that.
Yeah, I don't have an option to restore your video.
Well, Bob will pretend to see your picture and you can continue to talk.
Well, that's true. It is my picture. Or
Yeah.
I could leave the meeting and rejoin, and you could still pretend that I'm not here. Either or. So I'm gonna leave the meeting, and we'll see if that fixes it.
Okie dokie.
I have a question. I have some emails that I cannot the unsubscribe doesn't work. So how can I get rid of them, I guess? Stop them, tell them to stop.
So are you talking about the unsubscribe at the top of the message?
Well, whatever, yeah, it doesn't work. It's
Okay, so then you have to go down to the very bottom of the message and use the unsubscribe down there.
No, it's only some of them, they only have one and it doesn't work. And they keep sending me every day emails.
Okay, well, the other solution would be to put them in trash.
Put them in trash?
Yeah, don't delete them, put them in trash, and then that'll automatically block them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Well, I'm sorry, not put them in trash. Put them in junk.
Oh, junk.
Junk instead of trash.
And they'll disappear.
Right. They will block that same email address. Now, if they change their email address, then they'll come back. But most of those you're probably having a problem with will be using the same email address.
Okay, I got a few of those. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think you can also reply and put stop on your reply.
Okay, stop it.
Just write stop.
Yeah.
And send that back as a reply. And
okay,
pretty much you
they'll
should
get
get a
the
reply
message
back right away saying, "Yep, you're out of here."
Okay.
Despite all that stuff, though, you end up occasionally with people who refuse to stop or listen to your request to not spam them.
Okay, but be nice with them.
Does stop also work with messages? I get a lot of stuff from messages and there isn't really a way, they don't have a way of unsubscribing for that. If you say stop, if you send something back and stop, will that terminate the message?
Okay.
Yes, it will.
Wonderful.
It will do that.
Yeah.
Also, if you go to the header of the message and click on that. There should be on the bottom of it, there's a sign that says block this sender.
Oh, yeah, that's in WhatsApp too. WhatsApp, another text.
Also, also,
Okay, great.
There's
Thank
many
you.
different options. You just
Yeah.
have to find the one that works for you. They have more ways to come after you than you have to get rid of them,
That's right.
unfortunately.
There are tools in 26 the 26 OSs to help deal with that when you get there.
And where is that in 26?
What did I get here? Because
Welcome
mine it
back,
breaks
Bob.
down into messages, unknown senders, that's it, and transactions, promotions, spam, recently deleted. So it has message filtering.
It does have message filtering, but sometimes I've found out that it filters out something that I maybe wanted.
Might. Then you have to mark it as known. Yep. I still check them, but at least there's an obnoxious place that wants to send me vitamins and stuff and email, and they send stuff every day, and it just goes into unknown, and I just throw them away, or I
Sounds like
filter
the
them
people
out
selling
anyway.
Medicare. Same thing.
It goes into promotions, actually. Sorry. So
It used to be that I would get junk mail that had something to do with um, sex. And then as I got older, it changed to junk mail that was talking about the safety and security of a walk-in tub. Now, now the majority of my junk mail comes through, and it's like, yes, I would like to apply for the job of uh, customer service manager at your company.
You
Well,
get
I
the ones
figured
that
out
want
how
to
to
buy
make my
your
camera
house.
work, and that was to go into settings and change it from the camera that I'm using to some other camera, and then back to the camera I'm using, and that worked. So, but unfortunately, what that did is I lost all of the chat. So, Susan, if you're looking for the chat, talk to Roger and not me.
I will take care of it.
Okay, are there any last? We can have one more question. Any more questions?
How do we change the backgrounds? Like you've got that nice background there. Sometimes you have that tree with the snow on.
Mm-hmm.
How do we change that?
Well, that's in settings, or if you go up to, if you put the cursor over your name, you get a mute button and you get a three dots.
Right.
And you click on the three dots and you have a choice of blur my background. I think there's another one for
just background and effects. It gives me two choices, none or blur.
Okay. Well, then you got to go to the Zoom settings or command comma and look under video and effects and virtual backgrounds. And it comes with several virtual backgrounds, and you can put your own in. Like here's one that I like, a photo that I took. Here I am at the shore of Lake Superior. Here's one that was taken from my backyard that I really have to credit my wife for. She was coming back from a yoga session one night in later August, I think it was. And she called me up from the car and said, put down the remote control, get your camera and go out in the patio right now. And I did, and we had this wonderful sunset happening. I took several frames, and it always seemed like the best lightning was between frames. But
Naturally.
this one turned out well.
They make lightning triggers for you, Bob.
Yeah, I don't have one of those. I got too much stuff already. And I have my official T-Mug background, like Roger does.
I'll have to play with it.
Yeah. Here's another photo I've taken. Tom McGorry, mute yourself.
Wait, I can just check on my phone. Hang on.
Bob, I like that background you had the other day when you were on the Mac users group from Wisconsin.
You got what?
With the tree and the snow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could show you that one. That's I just
The
wanted
other day
I wanted to do that
70.
because I wanted, the people in Wisconsin to know that yes, it does snow here.
On Friday and Saturday, we had 70 and 72 degrees. Today we got 36. There it is.
There we go.
Nice.
Are you picking up Abby or not?
Instead of putting up my Christmas lights this year, I think I'm just going to use this picture. It's a lot easier than putting them up and taking them down.
Yep.
Very nice.
I'm gonna
Love it.
leave for a bit.
Well, it's time for the almost 10-minute break between meetings.
Okay. See you guys at 7.